Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Battle of the Gods casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a free-for-all on German's Pass. Playing as the Death Guard, we have got Tiger Shark, we have got Bandito as the World Eaters, we have got me as the Thousand Sons, and we have got Kuken as the Emperor's Children. So here we go, this is quite an exciting matchup, very thematic. I do apologise that I didn't have time to make a thematic opening for this game. There's quite a lot of themed games in the works at the moment, and time is but a precious resource at this present moment in time. So yeah, we've got Kuken as probably the most experienced player here playing as the Emperor's Children. Me, I got the short straw. No one wants to play as the Thousand Sons, because to read their tooltips is to read basically a book, but, you know, I was a team player and took it on the chin. Tiger Shark as well with his Death Guard, going to go for a Temple of Disease, and the Chad World Eaters by Bandito, ready to rip and tear, making the blood spill across the battlefield. Kuken throwing out some pleasure cult is going to be capturing my natural relic. Not relic, sorry, just a regular old strategic point. My Foul Wizards will be coming over to see if they could do a little capping of themselves, but will be heartily disappointed seeing these ladies where they should be. We'll be firing with their las guns with a sickly green hue, trying to take these ladies on, but don't do all that much in the way of damage. We'll probably want to get out of there ASAP before they get whipped and chained in a manner most foul. Yeah, they will fall back all the way around. Ral's over here going to capture this critical location. Or Zinch Cultist, sorry. First squad of Noise Marines of the game. Expect to hear some drum and bass. Celestial Lord as well also going to be saying hello. Zinch Cultist though, not going to allow these pleasure slaves a moment of respite as they push these guys away, but the Noise Marines will be coming in, dropping in the big numbers. The Top 40 Hits UK album, instantly breaking the morale. Got some Rubik Marines there, looking to see if they can sort these lads out. Over on this side, I've got the exact same thing going on. Blood Pack Troopers against the Nurgle Cultists. Lads with ripping, bulging biceps, giving them the old slap around with a mace. A mace to the face, if you will. Nurgle Cultists there, standing their ground, being backed into a corner. Not going to retreat, but they will be stricken down. And the strategic point will be given to El Bandito. At this point, Plague Lord will be coming out. And Rubik Marines trying to go for another strike. Sorcerer Lord throwing out some Eldritch Bolts, but with a upgraded point of excess. No real way for us to go for that at the moment while it's been defended. Also going to see a twin Sonic Blaster in place, but being slapped up there. More Rubik Marines coming out. I don't know if Rubik Marines are the way forward, or if they're the best opening for the Thousand Sons, but I see so many Screamers of Zinch openings that I was absolutely determined not to go for it. Blood Pack Warriors trying to get involved in the Death Guard's base, but a little bit too early for Argy Bargy over on that side. Plague Marines now out as well. Close combat variants, armed with their Plague Blades, but they will be engaging in long range for now. Are you the long range variant or the short range? Who knows? No, I don't think you are. You're not the assault variant. I'm going to go for some Plague Belchers. Morale has been broken on one of these Blood Pack Troopers. In fact, loads of morale has now been broken, as these guys have been lost to the Bloodlust and are just going to go around charging and trying to maim and kill everything until their mortality has been spent. Feculent Null Maul and the Listening Post adding to the defensive capabilities of the Death Guard. You see an Altar of Khorne being popped down here by Demon Hurst. I'm going to be capturing the central points over here. That relic shall be mine for as long as the change of ways allows me to have it. Plague Lord and his smelly lads are coming in to claim this Altar of Khorne. Demon Hurst desperately trying to build it up, narrowly not being able to... Oh no, he's able to build it up. And a big blood scream from that Altar of Khorne, doing a little bit of damage to all these lads as some Khornite Marines move in for the kill. But these lads will fall back, giving themselves a bit of a breather before going back in for the Altar of Khorne. Cornet Marines are not going to stand for it. Firing with their bolt guns. But the Plague Spewer from Plague Champion and his boys are holding up very well against these Cornet Marines. Will be breaking the morale as well, while killing a few models in the process. Cornet Marines trying to reinforce, but will have to be pushed back for the moment. Emperor's Children just building up the forces at the moment. Double Noise Marine squads. Pleasure Cultists as well. I've captured that location in the middle. We'll start to now move over in the middle, hoping to use this negative cover that surrounds it to full advantage. Cornet Marines still desperately holding off these Plague Marines as some Nurgle Cultists come over onto this side. But caught that negative cover. Will be fired at by all these lads and these slow-moving Rubric Marines, unaffected by any morale, as they are just sand and dust, lost to time, until Ahriman the Exile can fix them. Got some Cornet Raptors for Bandita. And we do have our veteran upgrades on as well, so squads are able to level up if they stay alive for long enough. An Icon Bearer. Do quite like the Icon Bearer model, if I can get a good look at him. Little thing on a stick. Gone for a red theme for these for the Thousand Suns as well. Rubric Marines now holding firm against these Plague Marines. And for the Sorcerer Lord, I didn't know what... So, you've got a choice between like 3 different kinds of spells for your Sorcerer Lord, so I just focus purely on the summoning aspect of it. So I've seen it in previous games, and I thought, hey, 3 units, can't go wrong with that. Less a Zinch spawn. Just going to be distracting these guys for now. We'll be holding on here for as long as possible. Got the Force of Khorne now moving into the middle. Demonic Lord of Khorne bringing his big old sword into the fray. Cornet Marine's also going to do the same. Got some Pleasure Cultists as well, just tickling us from the side. There's quite a staunch firing line for the Khornite forces to deal with. Chosen of the forces of Zinch, standing in the middle, powerful in close combat. But will they be able to stand up against the favoured Bloodletters? I'm going to fall back a little bit, not wanting to really commit to too much combat at the moment, knowing that we could be surrounded at any time. And this is a lot to deal with. Being constantly pushed backwards. Now back over the ridge. And the Bloodletters just aren't giving up. Are throwing some Eldritch Bolts on these Khornite Marines, but they just refuse to die. Chosen falling back, but now coming back in for a second helping. Sorcerer Lord trying to get that improved Demon Bolt spell research. See if he can turn the tides. But being pushed all the way back to the base, sadly. Khornite Marines just being aggressive to everyone at the moment. Now just needs to turn his attention to the Emperor's Children. He's gone for all and everyone. Silver Spire being upgraded. Be firing at these guys, but some Plague Havocs joining in. Now got some Noise Marines wanting to add to the sinister musical notes of this engagement. We're siding against it. Gonna fall back, waiting for these guys to spend all their resources and aggression on each other. I am now just rebuilding my force. I'm going to go for a Ferris Infernus Dreadnought. Oh, sorry, a Ferrum Infernus Dreadnought. The Force of Khorne not really lending themselves all that well to these defensive emplacements, and will now also lose their fighting force. Only a Demon Lord of Khorne surviving, but we are going to get some more lads being teleported in. Khornite Raptors a bit late to the party as another Feculent Null Maul comes in. Yeah, these guys will be smited instantly. Thousand Suns now going to come in to reclaim their central situation. Heavy Bolter Pillar attempted to be built up by the Thrall Wizards. Chosen going to try and protect this place for a little while. Going to engage in close combat with this Desecrator. I'm sure there's a wise idea, but the Infernus Dreadnought will be trundling along, looking to get some swipes in with his chain blades. And Desecrator not really standing up to too much punishment from this Dreadnought. Unsupported, unloved. But the Plague Havocs are doing their business around the south side. A practice coven looking to tie these guys up as another lesser Zinch spawn comes in. Of the Sonic variety, gonna go fast. Chewing on these Plague Marines like a chili dog. Practice coven inhaling all the acidic plague nonsense of the Death Guard. And the Emperor's Children just sitting pretty at the moment, building up their own fighting squads, allowing us to just waste and murder everyone else while enjoying the view. Does look like they're going to start maneuvering themselves over towards the World Eaters. We are going to fall back. Not keen to go too far against the Death Guard. And the Emperor's Children not pushing out just as of yet. Slaneshi Terminator Lord going to be pressed by one singular model from the Coven, but being taken out. Shows as well, looking like they're going to be taken out as well. They are trying to be reinforced. Might not be able to get out there in time. In fact, narrowly avoiding death by the looks of things. As Zinch cultists take the fiendish fire from that Sonic Predator. At the moment, looking at the economy, it's 360 for the Emperor's Children compared to 165 and 99, 105 and 75, and 169 way and 95. So Emperor's Children definitely got the economic advantage, but then that's because they've just been chilling out over here. Now we've got the World Eaters finally turn their attention. The Emperor's Children. Everyone now going against their natural enemy. Emperor's Children versus World Eaters. Thousand Sons versus the Death Guard. Such is the way of chaos. Got some Warp Talons now being teleported in from the backside. Corn Berserkers don't mind it though. They'll happily engage in close combat with these guys all day long. Bearded Bloodless focusing on these Noise Marines, chasing them all the way around. But Corn Berserkers outnumbered and outmanned by these Warp Talons. Got a Fiery Blade coming from this Cornite Demonic Lord. Demonic Lord. And yeah, those guys have been wiped out. Lads over here as well, not faring any better. The defensive emplacements really adding to the Emperor's Children's fighting strength there. But now another engagement. Ah yes, they were just regular, from earlier on, just regular Plague Marines. Some Plague Marines have just got knives, haven't they? Like a day trip out in London. They move forward, now taking this central point. Specklet Normal being built up, a turret demon as well. But now the Emperor's Children looking to engage in an unfair fight. Everyone now falling back as the Emperor's Children move forward with double Sonic Predators. And it might be that some favourable alliances have to be forged here. After all, when one side gets a little bit too strong, it might be required that everyone starts coming together as a happy family to take on one another. We are seeing lots of red stuff going around, which means that someone's going into tier 3 or tier 4. Can't remember if it's Emperor's Children or the World Eaters. Plague Marine squad, a little bit too exposed there. Will be taken care of. Do have double Plague Predators. Warp Talons going a little bit too far. Another Fecklet Nalmal being summoned. But its health will not last it for much longer. All goes relatively quiet with the Emperor's Children capturing, or in the process of capturing, the relic in the middle. I've gone for a Dreadnought theme. Just going to go for a Predator or two. Hoping that these lads can form some sort of epic melee-orientated front line. Death Guard now moving forward. Predators on the front lines. And now we're going to work together. We've agreed that the forces of Nurgle and the Change of Ways should really start working together. But just as this engagement starts happening, the Corner Marines see the scrap. They said, yes, the Death Guard. That's who we want to kill when they're teaming up against the Emperor's Children. So now it's just plague and blood versus books and nefarious deeds. It's raining blood as the Demon Prince comes in. Going to be slapping up all these predators. Got a blood slaughter as well, adding to the death. Do have the Helldrake though, coming in for support. Of just the sheer amount of Noise Marines, my close combat oriented build is not going to be able to go up against these guys alone. Was hoping I could work in tandem with these guys, but the World Eater, smelling blood in the air, deciding to join in and attack everyone. It's very thematic. I do love that. I'm seeing some petals now coming down, which is another sign that the Emperor's Children have teched up. Now everyone stands firm, not wanting to get too busy. I'm seeing tier 4 for Tiger Shark. But are we seeing tier 4 for me? Have I gone for tier 4? I can't remember. Can't remember what it looks like. Probably not. Just researching a load of books. Gonna go for a Venerable Rubik Dreadnought. Hoping that maybe we can go for another 2v1. But this Demon Prince not letting up. He's happy to see if he can get this listening post back. But will, in fact, fly away. And the Emperor's Children once again trying to capture this relic in the middle. Has been denied for quite some time though. That's quite... I mean, if anything, that's just a sign of our teamwork. I'm going to see some Dusk of Pleasure infiltrating some of the units. And another charge coming in. Quite a sizable force going on here. Probably able to take on this Emperor's Children force with all the artillery he's able to bring to bear. I'm also offering some support in the form of a whirlwind. Just waiting for these guys to soften themselves up. Not engaging just as of yet, as the Death Guard are pushing straight to the middle. But then I decide, well, if they're so strong, the Change of Ways must change his ways. I'm not going to start bombarding the infantry, hoping that they can both soften each other up to allow me to reclaim that relic in the middle. This Death Guard player not getting a break, really. There we go. Turning back my attention to this chosen Noise Marine squad. Just helping out both players, really. Unsure of who to really support in this engagement. And now that the Emperor's Children have been cleared off, it's time to move in and see if I can take on both players. Death Guard now training their guns against the Thousand Suns. Chosen leading the charge. Rubik Dreadnoughts upgrading themselves with all manner of long-range artillery and stuff. Plaguebear's Clover firing away. Got some Rubik Marines over here as well, trying to soften up these Emperor's Children. But as we say that, a Quester class Titan enters the fray. Be able to hold onto that relic long enough to be able to get on quite a powerful unit. And yeah, this is not a situation that these Rubik Marines want to get involved in. Loads of guns on this bad boy. Certainly going to be sending these guys back to the Shadow Realm. We have managed to capture the middle. Whether we're able to cap it or not for long enough to be able to build up our own relic units, that has to be seen. Cornplate is building up his forces, ready to get involved in the next engagement. The long legs of this Quester class Titan looking quite intimidating. And And the Thousand Suns, a tenuous grip on the centre. Rubik Dreadnought's not going to be able to hold up against this Quest-class Titan for very long. Might want to pull them back. Whirlwind continually firing away. Focusing on these tanks, probably not what it wants to do. Probably wants to go for the slightly squishier infantry, which is what it's built for. The Quest-class Titan looking to gain the centre once again as the Death Guard try and capture the relic for their own nefarious needs and deeds. Plague Predator armed with... Oh dear, what on earth was that? That was just a huge explosion. Wiping out a fair number of lads. Plague Predator looks like it was going to go with the bot flight into the Thousand Suns base, but they're standing against it, needing to help bolster the defence in this central point. And it's quite even Stevens at the moment. Got Araman the Exile now on the field. Whirlwind continuing to try and keep this engagement as even as humanly possible. Yes, okay, there is a class Titan on the field, but they do not have the relic, so if the Death Guard are able to kill these lads, they'll be down a relic unit for the long run. It's all an even balance in the Battle of the Gods. Can't let one faction get too strong without letting yourself get in the same way. We're now going to move in force. Mutated squad and a Deceiver as well. Go and see if they could focus down this Quester-class Titan. But double Sonic Predators kind of cut off our engagement there. Also got a Scarab Occult Terminator squad as well. Everyone bringing their guns to train on this Quester-class Titan. Venerable Rubik Dreadnought getting some swipes in, but not surviving long. Those are now being re-recruited. Another Deceiver coming in. Quester-class Titan, low on health, will be forced backwards. And the Demon Prince coming in once again. All the jump troopers in the world going to see what they could do to claim their own right in this central point. Double Blood Slaughterers. And Plague and Blood mixing together in an unholy mixture. And now everyone's fighting everyone. Everyone kind of been involved in some sort of engagement. A true scrum, if ever I've seen one. Quester-class Titan still quite vulnerable at the moment. Very low health, but all the fights have been convened in the middle. He's got a nice buffer zone around him. Demon Prince once again goes down. Blood Slaughterers as well. Not holding up all that well. And more turret demons being popped up. Seems at the moment that the big dogs going on here are the Emperor's Children on the Death Guard. Unable to assist in the centre. I've agreed to go around on this side to maybe harass the economy a little bit. To try and drag some troops away from the centre to allow the Death Guard to do some damage. And over here, double Deceivers slamming down on this point of excess. But double Sonic Predators doing some massive damage on these lads. Iron Man the Exile able to summon some immortal lads. Got some Flamers Zinch in there as well. And a greater Zinch spawn now out. But quickly taken down. Lucius the Eternal also going to join the fray, using his powerful whip and blade to full effect. Quester-class Titan now turning his attention over onto this side as the Death Guard once again seek to reclaim the central point. More feculent Nalmal has been built on the flanks. But this push does seem to be fated to doom and fail. As the Emperor's Children once again establish their might and dominance on the centre. Quester Class Knight being repaired just a little bit, just a smidgen. Vindicator now focusing on my side of the battlefield. Precacious Coven. Not sure what they're going to achieve by charging a Vindicator, but they will certainly give it a go. Sekhmet Cabal Terminators upgrading themselves with all the shooty bits. I'm also going to go for a Infernal Master as well. World Eaters now changing tact, are going to go for some possessed tanks. Still going to go for that Demon Prince though. Definitely a very viable unit in this kind of engagement. Plague Predator going to go down. Relic trying to be captured once again by the Emperor's Children. Plenty more Relic units where that came from. Should they be able to hold on to it just for a little while longer? Whirlwind, getting some real good value from that unit actually. The amount of DPS it's probably done over this game in its entirety. Certainly doing something useful. But yeah, the Death Guard unable to capture this point in the middle by themselves. We'll have to ask for some assistance from the other players. It's all a little bit of a standstill at the moment. Let's look at the economies. 148 and 192 for the Thousand Sons. 341 and 141 for the Emperor's Children. 157 and 95 for the Death Guard. And 111 and 62 for the World Eaters. So Death Guard are going to make a push. Nurgle Cultists over here trying to entice the Death Guard into an engagement. If they could just give them a little bit of blood, they might be able to convince them to come out and play it. And there we go. Does manage to encourage these guys to come out and hopefully attack the Emperor's Children, which by the looks of it, they have decided to do. Jumping smack bang in the middle. Possessed tanks looking for those Vindicators. Demon Prince also going to fly over while these Red Butchers try and catch up as best they can. There we go. Full-blown engagement going on in the centre. While that's going on and the Emperor's Children are distracted, I'm going to send my Hellblades over here to do some economic damage. Death Guard providing some long-range support in the form of artillery and tanks. But the Red Butcher's going to go down. Demon Prince also falling foul. Not surviving for nearly as long as we were hoping. But a good chunk of things have been killed. So maybe the Death Guard, now with their Death Shroud Terminators, could be able to do something. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Hellblades over here. Killing the points of excess. All going to take out these twin Sonic Blaster emplacements. But yeah, not quite the engagement we wanted. The artillery of the Death Guard not being able to assist too much. But the the Hellblades now deciding to move all the way over into this middle bit. Hopefully pulling, again, some more units from the centre. But look at all these Sonic Blasters in the middle. It'll be really difficult to push the Emperor's Children off the centre at this point now. Warp turbines falling in great number from these Hellblades. Pulling away all these Terminators as well. Vindicator and the Quester class Titan moving around over here, going to prevent my boys from pushing out of the base anytime soon. Going to see some Corn Possessed Marines and a Blood Crusher as well, as these Plague Marines wait for the right moment to strike. I'm going to push forward with my Terminators. I was going to go for some Screamers as well, seeing if they could do anything, as I'm running out of ideas at this point. But this is a lot. With just one faction to deal with. I've got a cacophony squad moving around over on this side. These are like chosen Noise Marines, I imagine. Phoenix Guard and Havocs moving in tandem. And while they're distracted, yeah, if we were able to compose ourselves a little bit and all attack at the exact same time, might have been able to do something. But the treachery from earlier on probably didn't do any of us any favours. More botflies, more Death Shroud Terminators, unable to pierce the thick hide of the Emperor's Children for all their units. And now they've captured this relic in the middle, they've been able to go for a land gifter with all the guns you could ever want. It's like a combination of a Whirlwind, a Predator. They've even got a lady on top, just to add to the aesthetics. Now it seems like they're going to move in and focus more on this Death Guard force. And by a battle of attrition, Death Guard are losing a big chunk of their fighting force. These Sonic Predators now with their Volkite, Demi, Culverin, can God say that 10 times fast. Able to melt through anything chunkier than itself. Land Gifter also adding to the firing line once it gets into position. And over here we've got some Havoc Marines thinking about going north, but then deciding against it when he sees this firing line. Got a Demon Prince now, of the Nurgle variety. Go and see if he could do anything against this. As Typhus the Traveller looks on in despair. And even a Demon Prince can't contend with all this. I'm going to try and go for an engagement myself. Again, if we can get this Questa class Titan out of the picture and deny them from building another one by building up a relic, we have a chance to stabilise. Got all the Rubik Dreadnoughts with all the las guns. Trying to get into range. Also got a protective dome in the middle. Brought by, I think, Araman, wherever he is. Trying to get everyone to huddle up in that central point there. But unable to. Both Dreadnoughts have gone down. Just a sheer amount of twin Sonic Blasters in the middle. Almost impossible to get through these guys. Got a Greater Zinch spawn as well. Seeing if we could take on at least one Sonic Predator. But unable to stand the test of time. While this is going on, I'm just going to take a quick swig of the drink. Last game I'm casting today, core blimey. I've been doing this for about 3 or 4 hours now. Trying to do on the weekend so I've got more time to take part in these kinds of games during the weekdays. Which, by the by, this game took place on the Discord. So if you are interested in taking part in these kinds of engagements, please do come on down. As you can tell by my playing ability, not the best player. And I do believe that Tiger Shark is, I think this game was played on the first day it was taking part in some of these games. So it doesn't matter your skill, so long as you're willing to take part, that's the main thing. We had a wonderful Newbie Friday yesterday, which was amazing because, I mean, the vast majority of people taking part in it, was not the first time they ever took part in PvP via a Discord, so that was quite encouraging. But yeah, the Emperor's Children still continuing their push into the Death Guard base. Death Guard numbers are dwindling. Typhus the Traveller needs to pull out something if he wants to hold these guys back. Well, this Land Gifter taking barely any damage. Potentially, the World Eaters have an answer for this. All the possessed Marines should be able to deal a killing blow to at least a good few of these Havocs. Got a good charge on these guys. Movement speed and good damage. Red Butcher's not quite able to catch up. They do have a charge mechanic, I do believe. These guys are buying the Death Guard a little bit of time to rebuild their forces. Over on this side, looks like we're building up some horrors of Zinch. It's going to go pure anti-vehicle. Artillery coming in from the north. Tanks coming from the east. Infantry coming from the south. The combined power of Zinch, Nurgle and Khorne trying to beat back the Dark Prince's advances, but unable to do so. Should have really moved all these guys in as well. I was building up my lads at that time, because when you're going up against all this, there's no point in sending any units in piecemeal. Questa class Titan witnessing this demonic Prince of Nurgle coming back to life, returning from the warp, the grandfather's blessing. Now we're going to see if it can go toe to toe with the class Titan. Titan not wanting to stay in that combat for too long will turn its attention to the buildings and structures of the Death Guard. We're now going to be engaging as well. Now that it's all the way over here. Maybe seeing if we could do some damage over into his buildings, preventing any replacement Sonic Predators from coming in. That's the idea. We do have some Glaw agents being spawned around the side. As the Land Gifter stays while the Class Dreadnought comes in to add to the defense over here. It's all pink and blue over here. Horrors going from pink to blue and then to yellow, I think. Or is blue the last form? I can't remember. Yeah, even these Terminators and Araman the Exile himself, when you've got so many Volkite Demi-Culven cannons to contend with, quite limited in what you could do. Look at that, just that firing line. Certainly a sad time for everyone. Land Gift having a look. I do believe that this is dead, it's just an artifacting thing going on. Typhus the Traveller looking to take on these guys. He's already quite low on health at the moment, but go and stand as much as he can. Plague Whirlwind and some Chosen Noise Marines having a look at this listening post. As the Emperor's Children's advance continues. Sorry, I will have to take another drink. Christ. There we go, whistle wetted. Just got to hold on till the end. Death Guard not looking too pretty at the moment, sadly. Cesspit trying to get a Dark Apotheosis research, but might not survive. Gonna try and build some Plague Havocs just to see if they can beat back these guys, but the recruitment building does go down. And sadly, the Death Guard may not be anymore, as we try and build up our forces to, at this point, just protect ourselves. Blood Crusher and Corner Assault Chosen squads. Player has been defeated. Nurgle the first to fall in this clash of titans. The Prince of Pleasure looking prime and ready to take on first place in this first engagement of the Chaos Gods. In the great game of Chaos, there can be only one victor. All the hover squads instantly losing their morale here. Not really doing all that well, in all honesty. We'll have to fall back. And just look at this firing line. That is an amalgamation of pinks and golds. A terrible fate for anyone to behold. But we will defend to the last man and demon. Prowl Wizards having a discussion about where they went all wrong. Probably the deception earlier on in the game. We're all united against the Emperor's children earlier on. This might have been a different story. But we just couldn't help it. Could not resist. Now Khorne coming in. Uncaring for the plight of the Death Guard. But even went over here to see if he could kill him again. Got to maneuver around trying to avoid all these missile turrets. And come looking for a scrap. The movement speed on these Khorne-possessed Marines. Quite terrifying if you weren't surrounded by all the tanks in the world. Landgifter might go down. As these Red Butchers give it a final swipe, and yes indeed, Landgifter does go down. One relic unit finished, only one more to go. Ironman using one of his abilities, I'll be honest. I thought it was a click and then you make an area away from him. Go a little bit skew with feet, but no, it's the area surrounding him. Also stuns him as well, so he was just stood there for a while before he died. And the Thousand Suns. Soon to be 1,000 Duns. As the Occult Forge crumbles into nothingness. And the Crucible of Sorcery whittled down to nothing but rubble and sadness. And now it's just the Prince of Blood versus the Prince of other bodily fluids. Bloodcrusher being stunned into silence by these Noise Marines. Unable to resist the tantalizing pleasure and the linguistic stylings of Wiz Khalifa and the gang. But the Khornite Marines will not give up. They don't mind where the blood flows so long as it flows. They'll go up against anything and everything. But yeah, sadly, if you haven't been able to tell by now, the Emperor's Children do indeed win. But a stellar performance by everyone. Love that everyone stayed around for the last stand. Massively appreciate players who can hold up and do what they can against everyone. But like I said earlier on, this was all done on the Discord, so if you do want to get involved in this stuff, please do check out the link below. Also, Patreon, that's the thing. If you want to support the channel, so I can pay for improvements like new microphones and better editing, recording software, all the money made on the Patreon goes straight into stuff used to improve the qualities of these casts. Not a single penny of it goes on the alcohol. That's what the YouTube money's for. So yeah, cool. Anyway, mine has been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always. Never a chore. I'll see you in a bit. Peace.